All right, here we go. This is Studen versus Painbow on Ahn'Qiraj edition. So I'm going to show, this is not really against Studen as much as it is against other people who've made videos about farming AQ20 on YouTube. Every single one of them does the same exact thing. They recommend priests, they recommend monks, they recommend druids, they recommend all these classes. Nobody ever mentions the word hunter. All right, so I just want to clear the record here. And I've noticed that some people who've made videos on this, they said, when you get to this part, be very careful when you're jumping down or around here, because you want to fall right in the water. You don't want to get killed. Well, I'm going to show once again, why hunters are the fucking best. So this is just an advantage. It's not required. It is really nice, though. Vigilance perch, BOE legendary. So you're basically running around here all the time as, flight form in spirit all. And when you do that, you bring in this like a Feathermane pet who has an ability called Updraft. You can cast this on yourself and you'll have slow fall, which is pretty nice. Mages and all that stuff have slow fall, but DHs have double jump and the wings. That's cool and everything. But hunters have slow fall and disengage. So when you use slow fall and disengage, you can just jump across that chasm, no problem. So let's just see how this is kind of done. There's a couple advantages to being a hunter too, because what's nice about this farm is that everybody does those little slimes or those little grubs or whatever they are for chances at some pretty rare and expensive transmog gear. That's fine. So I'm in flight form here, as you can see. What's cool about that is that those grubs are really small, and hunters are the only class I know of that have tracking. I think druids have some sort of humanoid tracking when they're in feral form or whatever. That doesn't really count. I mean, nobody's really doing that kind of crap. It's kind of nice because you don't ever lose any. There's a couple other points here, and I know Studen didn't bring this up in his AQ20 video. He basically ran out of the dungeon manually. He didn't use Proving Grounds at the time. You should be using Proving Grounds. It's fucking awesome. It's kind of weird. I use a macro for Proving Grounds, and it's right here. When I use it, it's kind of buggy. Like if you spam it, it doesn't like when you spam it a lot. And what's nice is that there's a boss over there, right here. There's 3 grubs behind him that you want to get. But when you go back there, you're going to aggro him every time. There's no way around it. Hunters, we have Feign Death, and we can have our pets Feign Death with Play Dead. I'll show you how to do that in a second. But first, I want to show you jumping across this chasm. I haven't perfected this yet. I'm trying to perfect it. Trying to find out a good place where I can use slow fall. Here it is. Just cast slow fall on myself for my pet. And I'm going to disengage across this. So, I mean, I don't have to worry about getting killed by dropping in the water and landing on solid ground or anything. I just jump across really quick. It's really nice when used efficiently. Anyway, another problem is I've noticed with people that farm this, they drag all this stuff for miles. I don't do that. I kill stuff where it stands. I use all my abilities as a hunter, and I use the AoE looting. I use fetch, and I use because I'm an engineer. I use Looterang. Looterang's really nice. So as you can see with beast tracking, you can clearly see that they show up on your map, and so you'll never miss one. I'm not saying that farmers miss stuff all the time, but sometimes when you're zoning out, just farming all day, you kind of like forget stuff. All you got to do as a hunter, glance up and look to see if you missed any. So I have no problem with killing enemies where they stand. I don't know what everybody's aversion is to that. So that's why this video is more of a, I don't know, I guess like the proper way to farm stuff. You just kill stuff where it stands. You don't need to drag it for miles and wait for it and deal with getting CC'd and all that. Forget that. Hunters have some really cool abilities too. Dire Beast, you could just send crap into AoE. We've got multi-shot, we've got barrage, we've got all sorts of cool tools. So I want to show you this part here. This is the main part. Just kill this crap as usual, try to AoE farm this stuff. Eventually I'm going to get better at farming this stuff. I'm not the best yet. I use some macro tricks to loot and disenchant. And I use an add-on called Carney's Crap Filter right here. I block certain items. I block a lot of this bone scarab stuff. I guess you could use Studen's method of using some sort of macro to just delete it all from your bags. But I don't want to have to hit a macro at the, you know, when I'm done farming each time. So I'm going to show you the tricky part about this boss right here. You don't want to kill this boss. If you accidentally kill him, you can't reset the dungeon anymore. You're saved. So, as you can see, there's a few more grubs back there. So what I do is I feign death my pets right here. I don't bring them back to life, and that's just with the play dead. And then I run back here real fast, and I try to do this fast, because otherwise this boss will teleport you to this little altar thing. So I try to kill these guys just really quickly, and I try to loot. And if I can't get loot, I hit my macro, and I'm in Proving Grounds, even though I was in combat. If you noticed, I was just in combat there. If you do it fast enough before he spits acid at you, the boss from the sky, before he spits acid at you, if you use your macro, which I have, and I'll put in the description, I guess. If you use your Proving Grounds macro, you can get out before he even attacks you. If he does attack you, and maybe I'll show that right now real quick, and then I'll end the video. So I use a little macro to reset the dungeon too. That's fine. All these little tools and everything are just, they make such a big difference. I don't know why more people don't use this kind of stuff. All right, let's go back in here. So yeah, I guess generally around 6 minutes. So, you know, there's some other stuff I've got to perfect in terms of like which mobs I want to kill exactly, because I had a full minute left, and I'm talking here, so I would actually probably have 2 full minutes of extra time to farm stuff to make sure I'm hitting about 6 minutes each run. You know, as a hunter, plus speed gear is nice, but because this is a dungeon where you can actually use a mount like this, you really don't need speed gear. All you need is vigilance perch. And you're always instantly in mount form the moment you're out of combat, as you can see. I kill these guys, I'm out of combat, and I'm flying. I'm moving on. It's a really, you know, I'm actually, honestly, I'm surprised Blizzard even added this item in the game. It is so useful. It's one of the most useful items, especially for farming. Great for indoors, even better outdoors, because we're better than druids now. But who knows if they'll keep this in the game? You know, who knows if they'll nerf it? I don't know. I don't trust Blizzard. You know, with that, Bear Tartar and the fishing pole, Underlight Angler, those are 3 of the most useful items in the game right now. And Blizzard added them this expansion, which is really impressive. I'm a huge fan of efficiency. I'm not saying I'm the best and most efficient person, but I do like improving my runs and making them smoother. And I'm a gamer, so I like to blow crap up. So I have a macro, or not a macro, I sort of have a shortcut or keybind here. When I press T on my keyboard, it'll cast my pet special right here, which is Updraft. So I'm going to hit T, and then I'm going to try to disengage over here. I may not make it. Yeah, if you don't make it, that's all right. I mean, I still have some practice to do there. And then I'll get better. I could actually maybe jump to right there. I'll work on it. It's a work in progress. But my Ultimate run is pretty much perfect. I'm very satisfied with my Ultimate runs, and I might make a finalized video on that. Yeah, that was fetch. I just cast it. I don't really trust fetch as much as I trust Looterang for some reason. It's something you gotta kind of get used to, how it works and where it works best and all that. Hunters get fetch basically for free right out of your class hall. You can buy it from a vendor. It's an ability. So what I'm gonna do just this time, I'm just gonna I'm gonna aggro the boss and let him actually attack me, and I'm not gonna port out right away so I can show you. Proving Grounds, I'll show you. It's kind of strange that it's not 100% reliable. I mean, it will work. You will get out, even if you pull the boss and you're in combat and everything. But it's just, it doesn't work reliably, but it does work. It's really, really strange. So I just want to show. Man, I'm not hitting him. Not paying attention. So I'll just feign death my pets there, and I'm gonna go kill him. So I'm definitely in combat, and I bet pressing my macro won't get me out right now. Yep, see, it says you can't do that while in combat. But there's a weird thing that kind of happens. When I go around this corner, sometimes when I hit it, it works. Even if I'm still in combat. Sometimes I'll feign death and I'll hit it right away. I'll spam it. Nope, that won't work. That doesn't work. But yeah, I don't think you want to spam it either. All right, so now it now it works because it pulled me out of combat. But I've seen it before where I've entered, you know, the Proving Grounds while I was in combat, while I was around that corner there. Yeah, it's weird. But that's the way to get out, you know. That's the way you do it. Hunters are really good. You know, when I'm focusing 100%, you know, I play a lot better, of course, because I'm kind of in a weird position right now. My mic is really quiet when I'm a little ways away from it. So that's the only reason why, you know, my shooting isn't perfect, my aiming is off, my eyes are crossed, and my forehead is sloped. So yeah, that's it. Hunters are completely viable for farming. I don't know what everybody's problem is with hunters. I've seen so many videos on this farming spot, but nobody's recommended hunters. It's always some other class. And I don't want to see people going here. Well, you can do what you want, but I just think it's weird to not go in guns blazing. You know, kill stuff where it stands. Don't get stunned by it. Don't get rooted. Go in there and blow shit up. You're a level 110. You're geared. You blow it up. Use your resources. This isn't fucking vanilla. Hunters aren't running out of mana and having to sit there and drink. So use your resources, man. Go in there and blow crap up. It's fun. That's the way, you know, that's the way you should do it. All right, that's it. I think RFD or Shadowfang Keeper or something like that is going to be coming next. I just want to show people that hunters, you know, are really good farmers for several reasons. You don't have to have a lot of gold. You don't have to have everything perfect. You just out of the gate, we're good. Just with Bear Tartar, whatever. All right, that's it.